What's up, group? What's up? What's up? Y'all just got me tonight. Let me see who on here. Let me see who gonna tap in tonight because I need to have some engaging conversation and some discussions for the next 30 minutes. I did a little something different tonight. I got y'all some slides up here. What? Who we got in here? Who we got in here that want to talk about, healthy core inflammation and have this discussion for tonight for 30 minutes? All right. I see one person tapped in. All right, so it's just me tonight. We're going to talk about some motivators, healthy core and inflammation type stuff. I know that is a thing that a lot of people struggle with. I know it's one thing that I struggle with. So we're just going to talk about it, and I'm just going to give you some tips and some strategies tonight on how to move past some of those things that might be keeping you demotivated or stuck when it comes to your fitness goals. All right, I see some more people. I'm going to give it just a few seconds so y'all can tap on in here. And I apologize. I was doing something different. And when you do something different, you got like 2 or 3 minutes and it's like go time. And here I am. I was a minute late, but I am here. I am here. So I hope y'all tapping in. Hey, Kristen Boo. Look, so let's go ahead and talk about this right now. So I'm going to talk to y'all tonight about healthy core and inflammation discussion, right? Y'all know I'm always saying health is wealth and food is medicine. That is absolutely true. It is a matter of choice, but we all fall short because sometimes we all get lazy and sometimes, just life happening where there is family, career, or we just don't know how to get started. It's always something that holds us back. So I am here tonight to talk about that. So before I deep dive into ways to create more of a balance, to create a healthy core and to release some inflammation and extra water retention and all that stuff that we hold on to that's squishy under our skin, which is really water and inflammation. Before I talk about that, we're going to talk about some other things with eating habits. So these are the topics that we're going to go through. We're going to talk about dieting. And I know this might not be for everybody, but for those of you that can benefit from it, I appreciate you being here tonight and hanging in there. But we're going to talk about eating right, sustaining healthy body composition, that word diet, because that can be a prohibitor before you get started, changing your mindset, and then creating consistent habits for yourself. Just some things you can do on your own. All right. So we all know the basics of why it's important to eat right. You got to boost your immune system. COVID-19 seems to be hanging around a whole lot longer and it's not going anywhere. And we all know that the vaccine is not meant to prevent you from getting COVID, but it is to help your immune system be able to fight it off. And in order to do that, you need to make sure that you're creating some healthier habits for yourself. And that starts with your food in the kitchen and moving your body for at least 30 minutes. And if not every day, pick one day of the week that you want to move your body. Incorporate those vegetables, the protein, the water, the carbohydrates, like we talked about on previous episodes and what you all have seen me type out in the group, okay? And then you need to be disciplined. Discipline over structure is going to be one of the most important things to build a healthy core. Your gut has to be healthy. That is the place that most women gain weight, whether you have had a child or not. Your gut holds a lot of weight and it holds a lot of toxins that we do not want just based on what we eat. Now, if you read some of the posts that I put in the group a couple of days ago, I talked about even if you're doing gluten-free or you're on a keto type diet, if you're still eating meat and based on the ingredients that are in a lot of products, we're still consuming a lot of unwanted toxins in our bodies. And sometimes we don't know how to get rid of them. And most of the time, we don't even know what unwanted toxins are there. So it's critical to sustain a healthy body composition without stressing yourself out, number one, and creating some discipline and some structure. But you have to be disciplined first so that you can put a structure routine in place that you can stick to. Now, how do you do that? You got to balance out your choices on the go. Most of us are busy and we're always doing something, whether you're working from home, you're going in the office, or you are just hanging around the house and you got stuff going on. Either way, you are busy. It does not matter what your busy is. You're busy. You're doing stuff. You have a life. You have a career. You have a family. You have all these things going on. And we forget how to maintain healthy habits when we're on the move all the time, which is why meal prep is so important. When you say meal prep to most people, we don't think that we have time to do it. But in fact, I will tell you that you do. Just pick a day to make your meals. Make meals that are tasteful to you. Make meals that feel good when you eat them, and don't feel like you need to make this cookie cutter meal that is going to not taste good and cause you to deprive yourself of all the things that you love. It goes back to portion. It goes back to being disciplined enough to say, if I like cookies and I like cake, I cannot eat it every day. But here's the day that I will incorporate it with one meal. When you hear people talking about cheat meal, and you'll hear me say treating yourself, it's that one thing that you eat. It's a mindset. It's all about your behavior style and your mindset. I will tell people nowadays, getting in shape isn't about just getting up and going to the gym, whether you work out in the morning or you work out at night. It's a behavior change. It's a mindset change. It's what's going on in your life. It is event life experience based. So if you are stressed, if an event in your life is causing you stress or anxiety, or you cannot sleep well or get enough sleep at night so that you can be re-energized the next day, so that you can get 30 minutes in, then I would challenge you, not even challenge. Well, yes, I would do two things: challenge and encourage you to do it in increments. When we do things in increments, we will get a greater result. So start small. So what you see on the slide on the right, when I say start small, if you don't know how to make a healthy meal on your own, just based on the ingredients that you use on a daily basis, we Google just about everything we want to know today, right? Am I lying? Okay. We Google just about everything. Google the recipes of things that you like and figure out how to make it healthy. If you want to get a book, to talk about, healthy, delicious food, whether you're trying to keto or you're trying to cut carbs, or even if you're fasting, if you're doing intermittent fasting, and I'm going to talk about that too, make sure you lay out a structured plan so that you can connect with that plan in order to create discipline. You cannot create sustainable discipline without structure. And you cannot create structure if you're not trying to figure out and do your part on what's going to best fit you. Because what fits Marquessa and the next person that may be getting the same results that you want body composition wise, it might not work for you because you have not established that structure and that discipline. But guess what? It does not mean that it's too far-fetched for you and it's impossible for you to do it. You just have to do it in the timing and in the methods and in the manner that works for you, so that you can create a lifestyle and not a 30-day thing and a 10-day thing. And, oh, I'm going to get on this 21-day challenge and then I'm done. You want something that you can be disciplined enough to change because you have structures in place that won't hinder your mindset. Because we all, again, we get discouraged when we don't see 5 pounds going down on the scale. That's immeasurable. We get discouraged about things that's happening and we get stressed and we start to quit before we give it a consistent start. Yes, it takes 7 days to create a good habit, but if you know realistically that you're not going to do 7 repetitive days back to back, then it may take you a little longer to get to your 7-day habit. But get to 7 days, whether it's a day on and a day off, get to your 7 days, whatever that frequency and that rhythm is, so that you can create a habit. And then mark down what results you are getting along the way. Mark down how they make you feel so you can really mentally connect with the reward. A half a pound is a reward. 3,500 calories equal 1 pound of fat. So if you were able to burn over 3,500 calories in a day or in 2 days, that's a reward because you have now lost 1 pound of body fat. So measure what you're doing so you can get excited about the little things, the small results that you sometimes don't even think about because you're not measuring them. Okay, so discipline over structure. You have to have structure so that you can sustain a healthy body composition without stressing yourself out. The minute that you lose a pound and then your stress level go up, you're gonna gain 3 to 5 more pounds. If you don't believe me, somebody that done been stressed, holler at me. It's true. All right, the word diet. Diet is a strong word. And you're going to hear me say this over and over again. Diet is a strong word. Diet does not work for Marquessa. 5 years, 10 years ago, Marquessa, you tell me, hey, I'm going to put you on this diet. I was all for it. I'm 40 now. The older we get, the slower our metabolism slows down if we're not keeping up with how our life event and age is changing and what's happening inside and outside of our bodies when we're doing that. So diet for me at 40 don't work like it did when I was 30 or even when I was 25. So I have to make a self-conscious decision to determine what foods I love, what things are going to work if I'm putting it on top of the stove, in the oven, and in the microwave, what it's going to do for me. I have to be able to implement them at my own pace. I don't care if I have a coach, a professional coach. I cannot implement things on their pace because if my mind is not made up and I'm not structured enough to do it, I'm not going to shape my body up. And I'm definitely not going to change my core. And I'm definitely not going to release a lot of inflammation. I'm probably going to do the very opposite. I'm going to create a lot of inflammation. I am going to gain more pounds. My core is going to continue to stay where it is. It's either going to protrude out or it's not going to be toned and have those nice, sleek, but beach body lines that most females want so that we can look good in our clothes or however you want to feel about it. You have to implement it, and implementing it is balancing out your plate. Making a happy plate isn't, oh, I'm putting stuff on a plate and I'm cleaning it. Make a happy plate that's going to make your body feel happy and make your energy feel good, give you a high level of energy. It goes back to the macronutrients. You have to make a happy plate in that manner. Don't be afraid to do healthy snacks. But again, measurables of what you're doing physically, measurables of what you're doing mentally, and then measurable of the results that you are gaining so you can adequately reward yourself. And then continue to educate yourself, whether you're educating yourself on your own or you're going to hop in this group or hop in another group. But make sure you're constantly educating yourself. If it's something that you don't know and somebody else knows it, ask them. Heck, come in the group and ask me. And if I don't have the answer, I'll go find the answer. And if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm very passionate about helping people, women, men in general. But in this group, it's all women. I'm passionate about talking about health and wellness because we've all got a story. We all have a background story to where we have seen a family member or a friend, drop off. I'm not trying to, almost spiritual people in here, just follow me now. I'm not trying to dig at you. When it's our time, it's our time. But if we can make good use of the body that we have for the time that it has been loaned to us, then we have to get a little bit more in tune with how to do that. And right now, mental health is real. Mental health is strong. Mental health can dominate you. So that's why I'm always talking about it has to be a mindset habit. If you have not made up your mind that you want to value your health, you're not going to get healthy. If you got stinking thinking, telling yourself, because I didn't lose 2 to 3 pounds this week, I'm never going to lose the pound. I'm here to tell you that you are wrong. It just takes a little bit of effort. And you have to understand that the gym alone is not going to do that. Your mindset, your behavior is what's going to do that, which leads to that T of the diet, the transformation. You have to know how to connect your mind to that body part. Prime example, since I said tonight we would talk about core and inflammation, let's use the core as an example. If you know you want your core to come in, Let me go ahead and, pop somebody's bubble. This thing right here, I know you know what it is. It's a waist cincher or waist trainer. It has hooks on it, right? We see people, we see all sorts of folks, whether they're high profile or low profile, pushing these things. And they are great when we use them on our core in the right way. Let me tell you how. We're going to move on from the diet a little bit. This goes to the mindset habits that you have to create. But let's talk about this waist cincher and trainer for a second. Get your size or get bigger than your size if you're going to use something like this. Let me say it again for the people in the back. For the waist cinchers and the waist trainers, especially if they have hooks, get your size or get a bigger size if you're just starting out. Why? Because that can damage your esophagus and cause you issues with swallowing. If you don't believe me, get one that don't fit, put it on, start eating and drinking with it on. Not exercising with it on, because you won't feel what I'm talking about. And I'm telling you this because it can be a way and a method, a measure to help you, or it can damage you. Listen to me when I tell you this. I have been doing this for years. I know what I'm talking about from firsthand experience and education. Hear me when I say this. Do things the right way. Stop just listening to everybody tell you what to do and how to do it because it worked for them. Because 9 times out of 10, they're trying to get $2 off of it, and they don't care what your results are going to look like in the end, as long as they got their money. I don't want you to be like that. That's why I don't come on here talking about, let me do this service and this, coaching plan for you, and you pay me X amount of money. I have no reason to monetize what I'm passionate about. Okay. So take this knowledge. I'm appreciative that y'all are here, but I'm going to keep preaching and talking and teaching and coaching on this. Okay. And when God see fit to whatever he going to do when the monetizing comes, that will happen on its own time. But I didn't create that group for that. So make sure you are following what works for you and get educated about what works for you. So let's keep going in these habits. Value your waistline enough to meet it where it is. If it's too wide and you want to bring it in, you might need to use a sweat type method to get some of the water out so that you can withstand the pressure that you're going to feel when you wear this thing here. A sweatband is much softer on your waist. It does not restrict your movement. It does not restrict swallowing. It will not hurt your back. It's just going to help you to release some water and some extra inflammation so you can drop the water weight first. The first 10 pounds is water. So now you can keep bringing that waistline in. Here's another how method to that when you're changing your mindset and what you have to value when it comes to your waistline is you have got to twist and bend and tighten your core. So when people are telling you to do Russian twists, to do the regular crunches or sit-ups, to do the V-ups, and when they say tighten your abs, they're probably talking about tighten it while you're doing a movement so that your mind can connect with what you're trying to change your midsection to do. And then to take it a step further, you can do what is called stomach vacuumings in the morning or at night. I would suggest if you're just starting out, do it early in the morning on an empty stomach. And if you do not know what I mean when I say stomach vacuuming, again, Google is your friend. YouTube. You can YouTube and Google stomach vacuuming and you'll see what it is. It's going to be difficult for those of you that have never done it before, but these are ways to help you shrink, tone, and pull your waist in so you can get that hourglass waist that you're going for without feeling like, oh, I done put this thing on for weeks and it's not working. Number one, it's probably the wrong size. Number two, you're not realistic at meeting yourself with your core where you are. And number three, you probably got some other things going on with eating that you have not changed your mindset on yet. So you're not going to see a change in your core. But if you follow what I'm telling you, you implement and resonate with what I'm telling you, you will see a change in your core. Okay. Here's some other different strategies to create consistent habits when it comes to that. Again, that mental connection, exercising, mental connection and exercising. If you're working on your upper body, Goes back to having a symmetry that is proportionate. Go from your shoulders down to your waist. So when your waist come in, some of us are built different based on your body type. I'm an endomorph, so I'm square. I don't want to look like no linebacker. Okay. So I work on my upper body based on me making that mental mind to muscle connection when I'm working on my shoulders, biceps, and triceps. Understand that. Because sometimes we get so quick about losing weight and looking a certain way that our body begin to look disproportionate anyway, because we're not doing a lot of the things correctly. So make sure you pay attention to that. Be realistic with the weight training that you're doing. It's okay to start with 3 to 5 pounds to shape yourself. Just do higher reps. It's okay to use your body weight when you're trying to tone your core. Here's some other secrets with your core when I said do the wrap first before you go straight to the center with the hooks on the front. Use saran wrap. Did you hear me? Saran wrap, the plastic saran wrap, so it can help pull some of that water from the subcutaneous layer of your skin. That's where it likes to hang around at. And sometimes, depending on that neoprene wrap that you're putting on, it may not create or intensify the heat enough to pull out enough water so that you can drop it. So saran plastic wrap. And here's a method that you can use. And I'm going to go ahead and say this now because God is good. I do have a sweat cream coming out. I'm going to let y'all know when it drops. And then y'all can use Fit In Lady Like sweat cream. But for now, I am going to give you an alternate method that you can use. Okay. You can use Vicks Vaporub. Somebody laughing at me right now. Vicks Vaporub and saran wrap. Just put a little bit on. It's going to give you a hot to cooling effect. But when you're working out and you put a little bit just in your navel area and around the areas that you want the water to come out on your abdomen, wrap it with some saran plastic wrap and then put your neoprene soft wrap on if you have them. And you can get these at Walmart. You can get them at Target. You can order them online from Amazon, but you can get saran wrap at any grocery department store that sells it. Dollar Tree, all of that. So I'm going to give y'all the tips tonight. So if you're not in here and you missing it and you don't watch this replay, and when you see me get these abs tight and strong and I'm posting these pictures again and they're going to be better than the other one, don't say I didn't tell you that, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm just telling you so you can try it for yourself. I had to try out a lot of things over the last 10 to 12 years to get to a place that works for me. So if I gain pounds now, it's nothing for me to drop them when I want to. But let me stay on topic with these tips that I'm giving you for your core. That saran wrap will help you. It's going to help pull out the water. But don't think you can stay stagnant when you do it. You can't just be standing in place talking about, oh, this water going to come out, because Marquez told me to use the Vicks Vaporub, and she told me to put the saran wrap on, and then she told me to put the neoprene wrap on, and ain't no water coming out yet. Okay, here's the next step to the process. Get your tail on the elliptical, the treadmill, outdoors, and put you a hooded sweatshirt on top of that so that your body heat can help generate and pull that water from the subcutaneous layer of your skin. So now your skin can wrap and lay on whatever toning and muscles you're building underneath. And I'm not trying to give you a washboard, because I know a lot of women don't want that washboard, hard body, six-pack ab effect. No, but you still need to create some sort of muscle underneath the subcutaneous layer of your skin. Even if you just want to see the little lines and the little cut, you're still going to have to build and shape that core. So that's all that mental connection with your exercises. When you go and you do a movement, make sure you have the right form with your core. If you're going to do a Russian twist and you cannot posture your back upright at an angle and hold it so that you can do the twist with or without weight, then you need to sit down like you saw the demonstration I posted in the group, and sit on something soft so you can train your mind to connect with your body and let your body know that you are not in a distressful place. You are not in a discomfortable place. We're doing this way. That's how you have to train your mind. You have to use the equipment appropriately to do that. So now your mental will be like, girl, I'm ready for that next ab exercise. When are we doing it? Okay. If you're going to use the floor, you can lay flat on your back and lift your legs up. Again, you don't have to use a lot of heavy weight. You can use your body weight. It's repetition. And oh, by the way, to build a nice, sleek, toned core, you need to work it from the bottom up. You need to work it from the bottom up, because if you work your core from the bottom, the top is automatically going to start to form and shape the way that you are working it. Okay, work it from the bottom up. So ankle weights are another lightweight method. Between 2 to 5 pounds, you can get them all the way up to 10 pounds, depending on which stores you're shopping in. Walmart, Sports Academy, Dick's Sporting Goods, all these different places. And you want to be able to do that. And I'm going to stick on this mental connection exercise, because you need to mentally connect with your body in everything that you do. If you're going to use any sort of weight when you're working your core, make sure that it is light, so that your core doesn't start to pop out. You don't want it to like square out and then it had that choppy. You want it to come in. And in order to do that, you need to make sure you're using body weight or you're using lightweight, so you can do that. Okay. And then the same thing with your legs and anything else to get inflammation out. After you have put your body through an intense workout, and intense could be, I don't work out every day, but these 30 minutes almost took me out. Whereas intense for me could be, heck, I done worked out for 2 hours straight with sprints, with cardio, with weight training. Whatever your intensified need is, when you are done, have a rest day in between. And if you don't have a place to recline your legs so that everything can settle, your blood can flow to every inch of your body, from upper to lower, all the way through your toes, you don't want anything to get stuck. You don't want inflammation building up because you don't know what to do after you done worked out real good and you lost 10 pounds. You need to give your body a rest, because rest and recovery is also a way to continue to build and shape towards the goal that you're working on. So make sure you're reclining and elevating your legs. If you have compression socks, compression leggings, anything that'll fit you that's not strangling you, but it's got a tight enough fit, or a snug, I don't want to use the word tight, but a snug enough fit when you are working out, it will help stabilize certain things. So that way, when you take it off and you drop it and you relax, you're keeping a natural, even blood flow all the way through your body. It makes a difference when we're talking about inflammation, toning your core, and just being consistent with your mental habits. And then going back to the whole consistent training days, y'all saw me do less than a 5-minute little rotation the other day. That literally can be somebody's workout who long to do. Okay, I don't know what happened with my internet, but I'm back. Hopefully y'all can still hear me and see me. But 5 minutes is not a long time. Increments, increments, increments. I go back to the increments. If you're not at 30 minutes, start with 5 minutes. Pick 5 things for 5 minutes that you're going to do 10 times. And if you're not really sure what, use that example that I posted the other day as your example. But create a consistent day that you can connect with. Accountability. You can use accountability partners or a group. If you're not comfortable with a group, have an accountability partner. And let me deep dive accountability partner, not just someone you said, hey girl, this is what I plan to do in this month or over the next 30, 60, 90 days. I just want to know, I want to let you know so you know I can be accountable to myself. No, be accountable by checking in with them. Send them your goals of exactly what you want to do, put a deadline on it, and then check in when you meet that date. Even if you didn't meet the goal, check in so you can become a little bit more accountable. And every incremental time that you can become more and more accountable to yourself, guess what? You won't need accountability partners. You won't need accountability groups anymore if you create those mental habits for yourself. And then track it. I don't care if it's 10 days or 5 days. If you lost 10 pounds in 5 days or 5 pounds in 5 days, you're losing a pound a day, journal it. Write it down, because again, that goes back to the rewards. And when you reward yourself, don't destroy your results, or don't think that your results have been destroyed because you decided to treat yourself and you got back on the scale the next day and you saw that it went up. You have to resonate with, okay, that is supposed to happen. That's going to happen. Allow it to happen, and don't fight yourself against it, because the minute you mentally fight yourself on a setback, you're essentially fighting your body. You're essentially fighting your body. So challenge yourself to those small baby step rewards, and eventually you'll be progressing from 5-minute routine. Do that same routine over and over and over again until you master that thing, until you can wake up and dominate it, until you can dominate it before you go to bed, because that's how you're going to whip your brain into shape that you are in control with the movements that you are going to do, that you are in control with the composition that you're trying to create, that you are mentally in control with creating a lifestyle, and not a 30-day annual habit, a New Year's resolution habit, but a true lifestyle. So that way, when you get to your goal, you can maintain it. Maintain it within that 3 to 5 pounds. If I got 3 to 5 pounds that I'm gaining, fine. If I got 3 to 5 pounds that I'm losing, fine. You're not going to be stressed out or in a disarray or discombobulated either way, because now you know how to sustain it. And if you do gain a little bit more than what you anticipated, because you have created this mindset change and you challenged your mind to keep your body in line, you won't have a problem getting it off, and it won't feel like stress. How many people have been stressed trying to lose 10 pounds in a certain amount of time because you put yourself on a calendar, you put yourself on a clock, and then when that calendar date came and that minute and second on the clock hit, you like, daggone, instead of losing 10 pounds, I gained another 10 pounds. You don't have to be honest in public, but be honest where you are in your head. That should prove to you that it's a behavior thing. It's not an active physical thing. It's a behavior thing. So take me serious, but take me serious enough to implement what you're getting, what you're gathering. I talk about a lot of things, but my bread and butter and my passion is always going to be health and wellness. And I'm always going to talk about it. And I'm always give you more than what you want, because that's just who I am. All right. So make sure you are accountable. Find your treats. If your treat is chocolate, if your treat is hard candy, put that thing to the side and say, hey, when I feel like having this reward, and I don't need to have it all the time, with the understanding that it can't be an all the time thing, then have it on that day in that moment and get it out your head so you can get back on track. Don't stay stuck there. Don't stay stuck there. That's where people mess up a lot. Oh, I can't eat this. Stop saying what you can't eat and learn how to portion out what you want to eat and eat it. Portion out what you want to eat and eat it so you can satisfy that mental disconnect and move on. Okay, next one. This is literally we apply it to our professional life all the time. We apply this method that you're looking at right now to our professional life all the time. Just imagine what would happen if we apply this to our health and wellness based on our behavioral style changes, changing our behavioral habits. Just imagine what this success tip of the iceberg would really be when you really rise up in your health and wellness. So it is not about dieting. It is not about the waist training that I was talking about before. It's not about repetitive detoxing. And there definitely is not a magic pill. It's not. It's all in your head. It's all about what behavior habits are you going to put in place to be successful at your health and wellness, just like you're successful at cashing your check or having your check from your job deposited into your bank account. Imagine if we took our health and wellness as serious as we took making money, how much better off we would be. Because if you can't make no more money or spend your money from the grave. We're gone. But you can create a healthy habit to where you can live stronger for the time that you are here. And then you can let your loved one and your siblings live off of your money from the grave. But right now, just imagine if we treated our lifestyle, health, and wellness like we treat our jobs. We made it a priority that no matter what, I'm going to do this, even if it hurts, even if it's a setback, even if it meant that before I got started really good, where I felt comfortable enough to dominate it, that I may have gained 5 or 10 pounds, but I'm confident that I'm going to lose it. I'm competent in my abilities of knowing what I'm doing in the gym or at home, that I can lose it. And sometimes it ain't even really about losing the weight. It's about dropping the fat and toning up, because you can burn fat and tone up and still be the same weight that you were when you started. You can start at 135 pounds, burn some good fat, because muscle weighs more than fat, tone yourself up, step on the scale, and still be 135 pounds. So I would encourage you to use a tape measure as well as a scale. Use the scale as a gauge, but tape yourself so you can really see. Tape yourself just like around your arms, around your core, right underneath your breastbone, and right across your navel, and then your thighs. Or if those aren't your trouble areas, tape your trouble areas, or the areas that you want to get the most results in faster. Tape yourself, because the scale will be a mental mess up sometimes. It used to be a mental mess up for me. I used to step on that thing, and when it would go up and down, I'm like, daggone it, I'm sick of stepping on this scale and doing all this work and ain't nothing changing. And the minute I started taping myself, I was like, oh, so this is what's really going on. I am getting better. I'm just staying at the same weight because muscle weigh more than fat, and I'm tracking how many calories I'm burning, or I'm not tracking them. Right now, I track if I'm elevating and spiking my heart rate during my most intensified training days. If I'm not peaking between 175 and 180, maybe I don't need to stop at 20 minutes. I need to put in another 30 minutes. Why? Because 15 minutes after you stop working on a high intensity type training, your body is going to continue to burn calories. And because I know I'm an endomorph and I know how my body responds to food and food timing, and because I'm trying to shape and tone my core, now I know that eating at night does not hurt me. So everything you see at the bottom of this tip of the iceberg for success, turn that into your health and wellness. Turn that into your lifestyle to create more healthy habits, not just for you, but for your family. So what if you fail? Have the mindset enough to know that I'm going to get back up and keep going. So what if you've got to make a little sacrifice in your time? It's worth it, because now you've made it a priority, just like you made your job a priority. So what? You woke up late, or the alarm clock didn't go off. Figure out another time of your day where you can make time. Everybody got 5 minutes. If you got a minute to text, you got a minute to do 10 jump squats. If you got a minute to smile and get on the phone with somebody and have a great time, then you got a minute to do some jump squats. You have a minute to do something to one part or multiple parts of your body in a 24-hour period. You cannot tell me that you don't. And the minute you continue to do that, you're going to be on target every single time. All your hard work is going to start to show. Everything that you thought was an issue before is going to be a non-issue. Everything that you let your mind tell you that you couldn't do, you're going to dominate in doing. I am so sick and tired of seeing people struggle with their health and wellness and their weight, and they're trying to go to all these different facets of places, this stuff that's on the market. And I'm not saying all of it is bad, but you just have to change your mindset. It's being proven over and over and over again that the physical part is not enough. You have to mentally be in alignment. You have to physically be in alignment. And people that see you on a daily basis will see the changes before you do. So take that compliment. When they say, hey, girl, you look good. You look like you done lost so-and-so. Don't sabotage yourself by coming back and saying, girl, I still got such and such pounds to go. They see the changes because you're changing. The work is showing for itself. It takes 12 weeks. 12 weeks. 12 weeks. I'm going to say that like a broken record. 12 weeks for somebody who is active, meaning you're working out 5 to 7 days a week. It takes 12 weeks for me to see the change. For me. But other people will see it within your consistency. If you're consistent for 2 to 3 weeks, they're going to see it. Where are they going to see it first? In your face and neck. That's the first thing people see, your face and neck. Before they see what's on your body, they see your face and neck. And whatever you value, if you value looking good, feeling good, then use that as your motivators to keep going, to keep going. Don't stop. It's a lifestyle. So I hope, and I pray that this is helping you, that the information that I share, that people, share with me, things that I learned from trial and error, that I learned from falling down, that I learned from injury, that I learned from just, hey, this is the way I want to go. Things I learned from getting too skinny when I was trying to lose weight. Things I learned from picking up too much body fat. Things I learned from having a pericarditis condition. Things I learned from having too much inflammation in my chest unexpectedly to a point where I felt like I couldn't breathe and had to be escorted to the emergency room. So it's all sorts of things that I'm like, don't wait until that life-threatening situation pop its head up for you to want to do something different. Do it now and do it as naturally as you can so that you can get better with age and with time. Instead of, oh, I'm getting old, I expect to get worse. No, I'm getting old, baby, but I expect to get better. That's what I want you to expect. Oh, I can't do that. I can't even bend and twist like that. Okay, so stretch, do some yoga. Yes, you can. I'm here to encourage you and motivate you and tell you, yes, you can, and yes, you will. Make up your mind to do it and do what you can, when you can, on what body part you can, and don't feel no shame or no guilt if you have a little backslide or a setback. We all have it. We're not perfect, but we are worth every minute that we spend on getting healthier so we can be better today, tomorrow, better than we was yesterday, better than we was 5 seconds ago. So keep doing that. Keep being persistent. Keep figuring out what strategies work for you. Your core is your lifesaver because that's your gut. That's your gut health. You need to make sure you're focused on it. Your overall body composition is all about what you want it to look like, and you can build it. Your body is your canvas. You have the power in your mind and in your mental and in your emotional and in your behavioral state to change it. But in order to change it, you got to have some discipline. You got to create some structure, and you have to have a strategy. This ain't even about, oh, I got to know my why. We all know why, because we want to be able to live as long as we can, right? Who doesn't? Especially even if you don't have kids of your own, you still have a family. You still have a mother, a father, a cousin, a significant other, a spouse, someone that you love to your dearest. You love them to the moon and back, as we say, and they love you the same. So you have something to live for. Why not make sure that you can get the best benefit out of it in the process by getting control of your health and wellness and making it a lifestyle? So I'm going to keep sharing these tips. Y'all keep sweating. So here's the stuff I gave you. Vicks Vaporub for your core. Elevating your legs. Making sure you drink plenty of water so you can push water out. Understanding that you're always going to have water that's going to linger around under the subcutaneous layer of your skin, which is the fattiest portion of your skin. Pull that out first so you can get that wrap. And if you don't know where to start or how to start to create that consistency and that habit, start in increments. Do 5 minutes. And if you must take some things away because it's just that daunting for you to make it a consistent habit, then do something similar. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, but pick that thing that tends to be your go-to no matter what. Nothing you can do or nothing nobody can say will stop you from eating that chocolate chip cookie. Then take that out for a little bit in increments. And when I say take it out, maybe you don't eat the whole cookie, but you break a piece off for one part of the day and you eat it over the course of the day. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll say it again. Instead of taking the whole chocolate chip cookie out for the person that love cookies, and you're trying to prevent something or keep yourself from eating it so you can see results, instead of just dropping it all together, trying to go cold turkey, eat one cookie a day, because you're going to break it off, break pieces off and eat it. Now you're satisfying yourself and you're still getting results. You don't have to sit there and eat the whole row of cookies. I'm just saying. But it has been a pleasure talking to y'all tonight. You know, health is wealth, food is medicine. I will continue to reiterate that. I have training tomorrow for myself. I will post some workouts in the future, but I try not to distract myself in the gym and stay focused. But I'll definitely share more at home exercises. And I'm going to start talking more about this whole waist thing, because I know that is a lot for the ladies. It's something that we all have in common. Who does not want a nice, flat, toned stomach? I mean, you can tell me that out loud. If you don't, you don't. But I do. So again, this is Fitty and Ladylike. This was episode 10 for me. Who's that said, even if I don't bake them. Right. So even if you don't bake them, hey, you got to do what you got to do. I just don't want you all being deprived, because when you're deprived, you give up. And I don't want you to give up. I want you to feel satisfied, do increments, have a strategy. There's no need to deprive. Just create that consistent habit and you'll be fine. Let me check some of these comments before I go off of here. But if y'all got some questions, I don't want to just drop off on y'all and not answer any questions. I did a lot of talking. I can hang around for a minute. I got some time. So if y'all have some questions, just ask me. Uh-oh. Ask me. Good info. Thanks, Trinessa. Wait, I missed my core part. Listen that Tamisha said, because they are lying to these women. Yes, preach, friend. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Woo, because I love the chocolate chip cookies are not my friend. Listen, if y'all got questions, I'm going to hang around. Do you have questions or need to know anything else about, whatever body part you want to improve or whatever habits that you want to change? Ask me. I'm here. Okay, what about the Vicks Vaporub? So you get the Vicks Vaporub to help you deplete water and tighten and tone your skin, right? So everything that you can buy over the counter has a twofold result to it that it can do. Vaporub just happens to be one of those things. You're going to create a hot and cooling effect. So be careful where you put it, but rub it all over your abdomen area. This is Vicks Vaporub. Rub it on there. You don't have to use a whole lot. A little goes a long way. Get Saran plastic wrap. Saran plastic wrap. Wrap your waist up. And I know people probably giggling like, oh, whatever. But that picture I posted where y'all saw my core all chiseled up, this is some of the same stuff that I did. I'm just asking you, if you want to know, try it and see how it works for you. You can do it just with the wrap once you put the Vaporub on, and you can get a neoprene soft wrap to put on top of it. You can purchase those at Walmart. You can order them on Amazon, and you can still achieve the same effect of depleting water from your skin naturally and decreasing inflammation buildup in your body. So it's all about getting a good sweat in most cases. Not all cases, but in most cases, it's about getting a good sweat. So hopefully that answered the question about the Vicks Vaporub. What other questions do y'all have? Good job. Thanks, cousin. What other questions do y'all have? I know y'all got something out there for the people that's still watching. I won't hold you long. I'm not trying to belabor anything. I'm really, truly trying to help. Not just help you all, help myself. So these consistent practices that I talk to you all about, I am applying them to myself as well. I have fallen short myself. I have been at my highest and my lows of being fit, and I desire to be better. Not, I don't want to get worse. I don't want to have to say, oh, my body is getting old and, X, Y, and Z is happening because it's coming with age. No, I'm going to get better with age for as long as the good Lord will allow. Okay. So what other questions do y'all have? You have any questions about how to do a certain exercise? I'll hang around for about 2 or 3 more minutes because I hit my 50-minute mark here in about 20 seconds. Yeah, but hopefully this has been motivating and encouraging and inspiring, and most importantly, helpful and valuable to you. If you have gained some knowledge and some help from this, just drop me a comment in the chat and say, hey, Marquessa, what you talked about was really helpful. It was really motivating. I implemented it. I tried my 5 minutes today. I broke off a piece of my candy and my cookie, and I feel good that I didn't allow that treat that I love so much to dominate me and destroy my goals. Like, let me hear your feedback. Don't feel embarrassed or shy, because I don't want to talk about things that are not helpful. Like, it's not my thing to just hear myself talk. Like, I talk all the time. But if I'm going to talk in here and I'm going to bring people on and we're going to do discussions, I definitely want it to be value added to you. So since health and wellness is the driver, just let me know, if this information is really truly helpful for you, because if it's not, then I won't talk about it. I'll talk about what's helpful to you, what's valuable to you. Okay, explain to me about the sugar substitutions. Okay, so with sugar substitutions, there are over 20 plus sugars in a lot of foods. They're spread around. They're in the ingredients section on the back of the nutrition label. So the way you can substitute it, I'll give you a quick example. If you love eating cakes, pies, candy, chocolate, anything that's sugary and sweet, I would advise you to replace it with something like a sweet potato, because number one, you're getting a wholesome count of your macronutrients out of that sweet potato more so than you would out of that cake, that chocolate cake. And if you don't want to go cold turkey because it's like, I can't just drop my cakes, then I say do it in increments. Meaning, if you had that cake yesterday and you had a whole slice, whatever size it is, the next day, if you cannot keep yourself from eating the whole cake, then only eat a portion of the cake. And if you have to eat the whole cake, spread it out throughout the day. But a lot of sugary sweets are empty calories. They will bring your results down before your results flourish and you see them. So that's the substitution method. And eventually put yourself on a timeline too with that, to say, okay, if I'm going to allow this cake or this thing, this treat that I love, to dominate me instead of me dominating it for a day, then the next day you need to just really do that piece and leave it alone, because now you're satisfying your mental, you're satisfying your brain, so your brain doesn't start to tell your body that you're depriving it when you're really not. You're not depriving it. Yes. So okay, I'm glad that this helpful. Fruit water. Okay, I'll explain about the fruit water. That's another substitution. Because fruit has natural sugar in it, you don't have to get the over saturated sugary juices like the ocean cranberry and the Tropicana and all of that. Get you some water, cut up you some apple slice, blueberries, raspberries, mandarin slices, whatever your favorite fruit is. The only one that I would tell you to try to limit or steer clear of is pineapple. But other, fruits with antioxidants in it, use those and drop them in your water. Don't overload it. Just do a little handful, a little palm size or less than a palm size. Drop it in your water, chill it with ice, and you can literally drink off of that fruit, that same fruit, for 2 days. When you drink that, it's going to do two things. It's going to help you curb sugar cravings. That's number one. Number two, it's going to serve as a natural flush. So as you're eating and you're drinking the infused water, those toxins that I talked about earlier, it'll do a natural flush for you. So you don't have to go on all these different detox plans and you don't even know what's in the detox. You're just detoxing. So that's a way. What other questions do you have? But that's on the fruit water and explain about the sugar substitutions. Okay. All right. It looks like that was helpful. So anybody else? All righty. Well, that's my time. Just because I'm disconnecting the live. Oh my gosh, I got up to 54 minutes. So yeah, like that information was good. I was only planning to be on here for 30. But if you have other questions or you want some other information that you can use and find helpful to you, just shoot me a DM, send me a message, a private message if you don't want to put it in the group, or if you're comfortable putting it in the group, just drop your questions in the comments and I will do my best to get you an answer sooner rather than later. But that's my time for tonight. You all enjoy. If you missed it, watch the replay. And if you watch the replay and you have questions, please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am here to help so we can get fine and healthy and comfortable with our bodies from the inside out together. So have a great night. Love you all. Bye-bye.